No, Rodney.
Fucking that.
Hey.
Don't mace. I gotta find my little brother.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Watch out. Bobby Shmurda! Oh my God! Oh shit! Oh! Where's the crashing out? You crashing out. Fuck that nigga. What the fuck? That nigga.
In the world of hip-hop, there are two types of justice. There is the court of law, and then there is the law of the streets. This week, we witnessed both colliding in a way that has shaken the culture to its core. On one side, we have the heartbreaking and confusing unraveling of a Brooklyn legend. Bobby Shmurda, the man who once held the city on his back, the man who stood 10 toes down for GS9, found himself isolated, unprotected, and allegedly spanked out of his boots in a Minnesota nightclub. Reports are flooding in about a $15,000 debt, a missing chain, and a security failure so catastrophic that it raises questions about whether this was a setup. On the other side of the industry, the silence is finally breaking around Sean Diddy Combs. While 50 Cent prepares his documentary, the industry's gatekeepers, Jim Jones, Fabulous, and Mano, are seemingly closing ranks to protect the mogul. But one voice has shattered that protection. Fat Joe, a man known for loyalty, has finally revealed the disturbing, sick encounter that made him cut ties with Diddy forever. From the bloody flaws of a Minneapolis club to the uncomfortable truths of a billionaire studio session, this is the full breakdown. We are gonna keep it 10,000. Let's talk about it. To understand what happened in Minnesota, we first have to look at the timeline. Is Bobby Shmurda becoming one of the biggest disappointments in hip-hop history? When Bobby and Rowdy Rebel were locked up, the entire world was waiting. The phrase "Free GS9" wasn't just a slogan, it was a movement. We expected them to come home, link up, and take over the summer. We expected the energy of hot nigga and computers to return tenfold. But reality painted a different picture. Upon release, the duo split paths. Rowdy Rebel seemingly stayed closer to the streets, allegedly navigating the pill route and getting caught up in his own controversies. Bobby, on the other hand, pivoted. He started moving differently. He spoke about wanting good energy, surrounding himself with different crowds and distancing himself from the hood politics that once defined him. There is nothing wrong with growth. There is nothing wrong with wanting to leave the streets behind, but the streets have a long memory. You can leave the hood, but you cannot leave a debt unpaid.
Can you please tell me where the food at in Minneapolis? It's starving me out here, son. I've been out here for like 3-4 hours. You didn't give me no food. and keep trying to bring me hoes. I don't want no bitches. I want food. How y'all gonna fuck the bitch if y'all ain't even got no protein in your body? How you gonna fuck the bitch you ain't got no protein in your body? I don't know. I don't get that. Where you get the strength to be fucking bitches? I'm trying to figure it out. How you fuck bitches and you ain't eat nothing? Hey, I'm ready for the hoes now. I'm ready for the hoes now.
And this week, Bobby's past didn't just catch up to him, it ran him down. It all went down in Minneapolis. Bobby Shmurda was booked for a walkthrough appearance at a local venue. On the surface, it looked like business as usual. He arrived with 2 women. He seemed relaxed. He seemed to think it was sweet. But according to exclusive reports and sources on the ground, this night was 2 years in the making. Allegedly, this beef stems from a transaction that went sour 24 months ago. Sources claim that a group of local promoters booked Bobby Shmurda for a performance and paid him a deposit of $15,000. Bobby allegedly took the money but never showed up to the event. He ran off on the plug. For a superstar, $15,000 might seem like pocket change, but for up-and-coming promoters in a city like Minneapolis, that is livelihood money. That is feed your family money. For 2 years, that frustration sat marinating. For 2 years, they waited. So when Bobby Shmurda walked into that club, the first time he had returned to the city since the alleged theft, he wasn't walking into a party. He was walking into a collection agency. The promoters allegedly stated they didn't care about his fame. They didn't care about his status as a Brooklyn legend. They simply wanted their bread back. And when they realized the money wasn't coming, they decided to take it out in blood. Let's analyze the footage that has the whole internet talking. This wasn't a fair one-on-one fade. This was a mob attack. In the clips circulating online, we see Bobby standing near the DJ booth. He looks comfortable. Suddenly, a figure in a hoodie emerges from the blind side. Whack! A sucker punch connects cleanly with the side of Bobby's head. This is what the streets call a wake-up call. It's the kind of hit that puts you on NyQuil mode. Bobby stumbles. Immediately is chaos. A group of men swarm him like hyenas. Hands and feet are flying everywhere. They are spanking him out of his boots. But here's the critical question that every viewer is asking. Where was the security? Bobby Shmurda is a high-profile artist. He is paying for protection. Yet in the video, we see 1, maybe 2 security guards who look completely ineffective. They are grabbing shoulders, lightly pushing people back. They are not clearing the threat. If this was 50 Cent, if this was Birdman, if this was any other major artist, the security would have destroyed anyone who got within 5 feet of the talent. Instead, Bobby's security allowed him to be used as a punching bag. He left that scuffle with a massive lump, a speed knot right on his forehead. This level of failure is so severe that it forces us to ask, was this a backdoor? Did the security let this happen? Because for an artist to leave a venue with knots on his face while paying for protection is unheard of in modern hip-hop. The physical beating was bad, but what happened next was almost fatal. This is the moment that could have turned a beatdown into a homicide. After the initial brawl, Bobby Shmurda is seen separating from the crowd. He's angry, he's humiliated. He grabs a microphone from the DJ booth, but watch his body language closely. He tucks the microphone against his waist, under his shirt. He adopts a stance. He is pump faking. He's pretending that the microphone is a firearm. He hits the crowd with a 52 fake out, acting like he's about to draw a weapon and crash out. Then he unscrews the bottom of the microphone, the battery pack, and hurls it at his attackers before throwing the rest of the mic. We have to pause and understand how dangerous this move was. In a crowded nightclub in America where tensions are high and alcohol is flowing, pretending to pull out a gun is a death wish. If anyone in that opposing crew had a real weapon, a real hammer, and saw Bobby reach for his waist, they would have opened fire immediately. Bobby Shmurda survived the beating, but he nearly gambled his life on a bluff. It was a reckless move that shows a man who was not thinking clearly, a man who was desperate to regain some level of respect in a situation where he had lost all control. The internet era has created a predictable cycle for rappers who take an L. Immediately after the fight, they must go on Instagram Live. They must show their face. They must show their jewelry. They must prove they didn't get robbed. Bobby Shmurda followed the script, but he missed the most important prop. He posted a video from his hotel room. He's dancing. He's smiling. He says, "You just fucked up the whole program." He's trying to play it cool, but the viewers noticed two things. First, the lump on his head. You can't dance away a contusion that size. Second, and most importantly, where is the chain? Bobby Shmurda is known for his GS9 Shmurda pendant. He wears it everywhere. Yet in this response video, his neck is bare. Shortly after his video went up, images began circulating from the alleged Minnesota goons. They posted a picture of what looks exactly like the diamond-encrusted Shmurda pendant. If these reports are true, this wasn't just a beatdown over a debt. This was a robbery. They took his pride, they took his chain, and they sent him back to the hotel with a concussion. And for Bobby to dance on camera without addressing the missing jewelry, it only makes the situation look worse. It screams of denial. While Bobby Shmurda fights for his reputation in the streets, a different kind of war is brewing in the corporate offices of hip-hop. The topic, P. Diddy. 50 Cent has been on a relentless campaign to expose Diddy, producing a documentary series that promises to reveal the dark truth about the mogul. But this move has drawn fire from unexpected places. Enter the Let's Rap About It podcast crew, Jim Jones, Mano, Fabulous, and Dave East. In a recent episode, these industry veterans took aim at 50 Cent. They didn't support the quest for truth. Instead, they protected the accused. Fabulous and Mano called 50's project a mockumentary. Fabulous stated, "A documentary is supposed to show what you've accomplished. You don't want nobody doing a documentary just trying to make your whole character look weak." They gave 50 a thumbs down. They called it wrong. But let's look at the hypocrisy here. Mano, the 50 Cent is the man who gave him his first record deal at Atlantic. Fabulous, he's always been cool with 50. Why are they suddenly caping for Diddy? Is it loyalty or is it fear? Is it what we call Stockholm Syndrome within the industry? Because when you look at the history these men have with Diddy, the defense starts to look very suspicious. And speaking of suspicious behavior, on that same podcast, Mano and Jim Jones made a joke that went viral for all the wrong reasons. They joked about drug use, saying, "The only reason we haven't tried cocaine is because we don't have $1 billion yet." It took Dave East, the youngest in the room, to step up and say, "If I make $1 billion, I am not trying that." It shows a disconnect. It shows a generation of older rappers who are willing to say anything, defend anyone, and normalize wild behavior just to stay in the mix. Fabulous's defense of Diddy is particularly confusing when we look at the evidence that is already public. We all remember the viral Drink Champs clip. Diddy, clearly intoxicated, turned his attention to Fabulous. The body language was undeniable. Diddy said to him, "I like variety. I like different personalities. You're helping me rebuild that beautiful, nice guy of yours." He insisted on throwing Fab a party, saying, "Fabulous, the only nigga that got the name that I want. Happy birthday to you." In that moment, Fabulous looked small. He looked uncomfortable. Tyrese tried to intervene, talking about going to church, and he was told to shut up. Diddy was acting predatory, glassy-eyed, and aggressive with his love, yet nobody checked him. Not NORE, not the guests, and not Fab. For Fabulous to experience that weird energy firsthand and then turn around months later and attack 50 Cent for exposing that same energy, it looks fake. It looks like he is protecting a system that he knows is broken. But while the lobby boys are defending Diddy, a true heavyweight has decided to step out of the shadows, Fat Joe. Fat Joe and Diddy were friends for decades. They ran in the same circles. But recently, Joe revealed the exact moment their friendship ended, and the story is bone-chilling. In a recently released statement, Fat Joe detailed a night at Diddy's studio apartment. Just the two of them, drinking and working on music. It started subtly. Diddy began complimenting Joe's appearance. He told him he looked nice. Then Diddy asked to touch Fat Joe's chain. Joe, a street guy from the Bronx, brushed it off. Nobody snatches my chain, he thought. But it wasn't about snatching, it was about crossing a boundary. According to Fat Joe, Diddy then looked him in the eyes and said, "Yo, Fat, I'll eat that red boner up." Fat Joe realized instantly that this wasn't a joke. He realized, as he put it, that it was the pink booger sugar talking. The drugs had taken over and the mask had slipped. Joe didn't laugh. He didn't debate. He said, "I packed my stuff and left immediately without saying a word. I don't hang with people like that. The guy is seriously sick in the head." This testimony changes everything. This isn't an internet rumor. This is Fat Joe. This is a man who values his reputation. For him to go public with this story confirms what 50 Cent has been saying all along. It confirms that behind the billionaire mogul image, there was a dark, predatory reality that made even the toughest guys in the room run for the exit. So what have we learned this week? We learned that in the streets, your past will always find you. Bobby Shmurda thought he could move on from a $15,000 mistake, but the Minnesota streets demanded payment. He lost the fight, he potentially lost his chain, and he definitely lost the aura of invincibility that surrounded GS9. He needs to reevaluate his circle, fire his security, and decide if the good energy path is worth the lack of protection. And in the industry, we learn that the walls are closing in on P. Diddy. While his old friends like Jim Jones and Fabulous try to build a wall of defense, the truth is leaking through the cracks. Fat Joe's story is just one brick falling out of the wall. 50 Cent's documentary will likely be the sledgehammer that brings the whole thing down. From the nightclubs of the Midwest to the penthouses of New York, the message is clear. You can run from your debts and you can hide your secrets, but eventually, everyone has to pay up. I want to hear from you. Did Bobby Shmurda deserve what happened to him for running off with the money? Do you believe the chain was snatched? And what is your take on Fat Joe's story? Is this the final nail in the coffin for Diddy? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. We are on the road to 100K, and we are not stopping. This is the reality. This is the culture. Salute.